So today, scientists, we're going to continue with where we left off yesterday. You might remember that yesterday we learned what is science. And so today we're going to work as a scientist and actually as an engineer with an egg drop. So let's take a look at our target for today. So today we're going to design a device to protect an egg when it is dropped, so that I can think like a scientist and engineer by asking questions and designing an egg protector. I will know I've got it when I present my design ideas to my classmates and explain my thinking. So that's what we're up to today. We're going to design a device to protect an egg when it is dropped. An egg like this. So let's think back to yesterday's lesson. How would you explain to a friend what science is? How would you explain to a friend what science is? So think on that for just a minute. While you're thinking, I'm going to grab my pen so that we can write some things down. How would you explain to a friend what science is? So maybe you're thinking science is investigating and experimenting. I would definitely agree with you on that. Science is observing and wondering. Yep, I would agree with that. Science is doing some work, maybe doing some research, talking to other scientists. Science is lots of different things, and there's lots of different kinds of science we've already learned. So yesterday I asked you to stop the Generation Genius video at a certain amount of time. But today I'm going to share with you, before we move on to that, what science is. And so you're going to click this you're going to actually click the link below, which is going to be a YouTube video called Science Is. And as you watch that, I want you to think about the science and engineering practices. So when we've discussed those before, you may remember that they are, let me grab a quick piece of paper here to share with you, because this will help you remember those science and engineering practices. And they're actually on the wall behind me. So let me actually read those to you. They're right over here. I'm going to kind of turn this a little bit so we can see them better. The 8 science and engineering practices are: ask questions and define problems, develop and use a model, plan and carry out investigations. We love doing that. Analyze and interpret data, use mathematics and computational thinking. Miss Kay would love that, I'm sure. Construct explanations and design solutions. Engage in argument from evidence. Obtain, evaluate, and communicate information. So those 8 posters right here are our science and engineering practices. And we've talked about those already. And you probably even heard of those when you were with Miss Kendall and Miss Roy, and maybe your first grade and kindergarten teachers. So you're going to watch just a quick video, what science is. And as you're watching, I want you to think about those science and engineering practices that you see in the video. So watch the video, Science Is now. So now that we've watched that video, I want you to think about an engineer. An engineer is a person who uses science and math to design, build, and create solutions to problems. And on our video, you might have seen that science is math. You might have seen that science is thinking. Science is creating. Science is working. Science is thinking. Science is lots of different things. And we will be using all those scientific skills this year as a 4th grade scientist. And you'll use them for the rest of your life as a scientist. But today we're going to specifically work as an engineer. So we're going to design and build and create a solution to a problem. So here's what we're going to actually be doing today. If you have any of these materials, you can actually make your own egg protector. You would just need some straws. You would just need some tape. And you would just need some rubber bands. Rubber bands like this, that can be any size, any color. So rubber bands. So on our Generation Genius, on the DIY activity section, they are going to build a design to protect an egg that's dropped. Okay, so let's take a look at Generation Genius real quick so you'll know where to be. So on our link below, you will go to Generation Genius, and you probably remember this video from yesterday. Sorry about that, it froze up for a minute. We want to look right down here at the DIY activity guide. And actually, let's go first up here. So you might remember that yesterday I had you stop at a specific place, and we're going to move on just a little bit. I think it's actually going to take us to the end first. So let's hit replay. Okay. And I'm going to move you. You're going to move to the DIY section. So yesterday, you remember I told you to stop at a certain spot.
To come up with a pill that'll make me taller.
Okay, so right around 11:19 is where you're going to want to go to. And they're going to tell us what we're going to be doing today. Now, if you have these supplies, great. If not, you can still watch their video, and I want you to think with them.
Today, I'll show you how you can use science and engineering to make a device that will prevent an egg from cracking when you drop it. This experiment will demonstrate one of our science and engineering practices, developing and using models. To begin, we'll need some supplies: straws, uncooked eggs, rubber bands, tape, and painter's plastic. First,
and if you don't have plastic, that's okay. That's just to protect in case the egg breaks. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video for a minute. And in your notebook, I want you to draw how you might make your egg protector. And like I said, if you don't have these supplies, that's okay. Or if you want to draw your design now, and then later after school, when you've got a grown-up that might be able to help you, then you could create your own egg protector if that's okay with your family. So we're going to stop the video right there for just a minute. And you're just going to draw in your notebook. You're going to draw a design. So in our notebook right now, draw what you think you might design to protect this egg. Remember, you've got these supplies. We're pretending we've got these supplies. You've got straws, you've got rubber bands, and you've got tape. So draw a design of something that you might build that could protect this egg. So draw an egg protector in your science notebook. So pause the video for a minute, draw your ideas. Okay, now when we get to our Google Meet today, what I'm going to ask you to do is to share your notebook and share your designs. And then if you have a chance to test it, then you can share what happened. If you don't have time to test it because we don't have a whole lot of time before our Google Meet, then we can share that tomorrow. Okay, so let's take a look at Zoe's egg protector design. Okay, so you've already drawn your ideas. Don't play the video yet unless you haven't. If you've already drawn your ideas, then you can play the video. So let's take a look at our ideas. Okay. So here's Zoe's ideas.
A triangle out of a straw and tape it together.
So she made a triangle.
Then do this 2 more times. Next, tape all 3 straw triangles together to make a pyramid around the egg. This next part is up to you. How do you want to cushion your egg? I'm going to tape long straw pieces to make an even bigger pyramid. Then I'm going to wrap rubber bands around the whole thing to hold it in place.
Okay, so that's Zoe's design. Kind of be taking a look at your design. How does yours look compared to hers? And then you can continue watching.
Make sure to lay down some painter's plastic, just in case. Now let's see how we did.
So she's going to drop her design.
It worked. Our egg didn't break. Were you successful? Write down what you learned and try it again.
Okay, so notice what she said. If you get to test and when you get to test, just write down, were you successful? That means your egg did not break. That means success, it did not break. And then make sure you draw your design. Now let's say, for instance, we tried a design and it didn't work, and then you were able to get another egg and you wanted to build another design. Just number them, first design, second design. And like I said, we don't have to do this right now. We can work on it after school. You can work on it at the end of the day when you're finished with all your other work. Or if you don't have a chance or don't have an extra egg, that's okay, or you don't have the supplies. I just wanted you to be able to draw an idea and then see how your idea looked compared to Zoe's. So let's go back to So we watched the video, and you can watch all of it to see Zoe's egg protector design. Observe the design and the results of the egg when it dropped. Just make some notes here. Remember, scientists write down their ideas. So add your ideas there in your notebook. And let's talk about her egg design compared to yours. So if you get a chance, I want you to build your egg protector at home and test your design. So when we get to the Google Meet, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to share your design with us and tell us what your thoughts were. And then if you do get to build something, maybe today or later today, we can share tomorrow. And then we're going to work on a quiz. And this will be loaded in your Google Classroom. What is science quiz? And so let's come to the Google Meet first, and then we'll do the what is science quiz after our Google Meet. So let's just review what I want you to come to the Google Meet with. So when you come to the Google Meet, I want you, let me go back. I want you to be prepared to share your ideas, what design ideas you had, and what you would want to try if we had the egg and the straws and the time. If you get a chance to build it and test it, then you can share that. If not, we'll just share our ideas. But remember, our notebook should have a drawing in it with our ideas, what we're thinking would work, okay? And we would want to try making it out of straws, rubber bands, taping those things together. And of course, you can always cut those straws if you need to. Okay, so I'll see you at the Google Meet with your notebook and your draw designs. As far as the quiz, let's wait till after our Google Meet, and then we'll take the quiz after we're done discussing. I'll see you then.